of Babel, do you see this as a supernatural event resulting in the different races and or languages instantaneously, or do you understand it more as a natural event where the races and languages diverged over a period of time?
Well, we have in the Bible the declaration that humanity was in one place. And it was God's intent all along as he spoke to Adam and Eve, multiply and fill the earth. They didn't do it. What we see in Genesis 11, God had to forcibly scatter humanity over the face of the earth. And we actually have DNA evidence that tells us that yes, humanity started off in one locale, then there was a period of very aggressive migration. The DNA evidence even shows us the migration routes, whereby humanity went out of the Middle East, down the south shore of Asia into Japan and China, and then along the west coast of North and South America to populate North and South America, Australia, etc. So we now know that the Bible's historical account got it right. But also the DNA evidence tells us as humanity went from one locale out to these different locales, they began to, let me give you an example. You go to Africa, and it was Livingstone that discovered this. He went into the jungles of the Congo and discovered there was a tribe of pygmies where the average height was 3.5 feet, living just a few miles from a tribe of giants where they were 7 feet tall. They would not intermarry, and therefore they began to develop DNA differences. And this is what we saw in the migration, that the simple migration was enough to establish the racial differences. And people exaggerate this. The truth is, the Bantus and the Zulus living in South Africa have greater genetic differences than the Asians and the whites and the Indians elsewhere in the world. And so we make a big deal about color difference.
Yeah.
But there really isn't that much differentiation in the DNA that's manifested by all the races. So you really don't need a direct supernatural intervention to get the racial distinctives. We're not that different. And by the way, racial distinctives are rapidly disappearing as now the races are beginning to intermarry.
That's so true. Dr. Ross, here's a